Hey everyone, how's it going? My name's Cloud, and welcome to my personal VOD reviews of Locals. In this episode, we'll be taking a look at Game 2 of Week 7 for the OP11 Meta, where I played Purple Black Luffy versus Red Yellow Belo Betty. Here's the deck list that I played in this match, and if you haven't already done so, please go check out the Locals retro video I made that covers this deck list and my overall thoughts on how Locals went this week. Without further ado, let's hop into the game. Game number 2 for Week 7 of the OP11 Meta. I'm playing Purple Black Luffy versus Red Yellow Belo Betty. And we're playing against my good buddy Migs, who's starting to become a regular on my channel with how many times I've paired into him, so should be another good matchup. And okay, showing off the Zeus alt art that came out from Premium Bandai. There we go, center of the screen. It's a very beautiful card, and I'm glad I got to see it in person because I did not get one myself, so really nice pickup there. I'm gonna go ahead and put this on ×2, and the reason for that is because the player sitting next to me lost one of their cards, and they were sitting here where we're sitting right now in the previous round, so you're gonna see us flip our mats a few times to try to help him look for it, and we did find it eventually, so that's good for him. Talking about this matchup though, Belo Betty into Purple Black Luffy is going to be actually very rough, and the reason for that is because Belo Betty is an aggressive deck that goes wide very quickly and can hit me for 5k, 6k, 7k, and even 8k swings sometimes. So, gonna be worried about that. Especially since I know that with Purple Black Luffy, I'm gonna be spending the early turns of the game just ramping. So I'm not gonna have much board presence compared to my opponent, which is gonna make things hard for me to contest the board. However, the game plan for this matchup is gonna be trying to get to that 6 Dawn turn. And the reason for that is because if I'm able to get to 6 Dawn, then I will be able to play out the 6-cost Beer Luffy, which will make my leader a 7k. And making my leader a 7k is going to be really nice because it's going to require more Dawn from my opponent to attack at me, and I get to save a few counters in hand. Not only that though, I will be trying to starve my opponent like usual. The reason for that is because I don't want them to have more cards in hand that they can get from life. Belo Betty's leader ability requires him to trash 1 card from hand, so they're going to naturally go down on hand size if I do not attack at my opponent's life. So if I can do that and just focus on using my characters on board to manage the board that my opponent is establishing, then hopefully by the time it gets to the later stages of the game, he's going to have very low cards in hand, and I'll be able to have easier swings into my opponent's life. So I went a little long there, but let's go ahead and go into the dice roll. High roll as usual, and we're starting with me. So I rolled a 6. Okay. And my opponent also rolled a 6, so we're going for the reroll. I'm going to roll what looks like a 6 and a 5, so 11. And my opponent is going to roll another 6, so it is my pick for turn order. And I'm choosing to go second here. And so again, the reason why I'm choosing to go second is because the 6-cost Beer Luffy is essential for my victory this game. The reason for that is the 6-cost Beer Luffy, which I'll put up on screen later into the match if I get to that point, so I won't talk about it now, but essentially what you need to know is that 6-cost Beer Luffy requires my opponent to be at 5 Dawn or more. So if I can get, if they're going first, they're gonna go 1 Dawn, 3 Dawn, and then 5 Dawn, where I'm gonna be going 2 Dawn, 4 Dawn, and then 6 Dawn. And this is without ramp, but you can see that by having my opponent go first, they're going to naturally hit their 5 Dawn turn first, and then by the time I hit my 6 Dawn turn, and that's the turn I can play the Beer Luffy will be online immediately. So I know that letting my opponent go first is kind of dangerous because they will get to attack first, but I really want my 6-cost Beer Luffy to be online immediately so that I can get my 7k base leader online as soon as possible. So that's why I'm choosing to go second, but let's go ahead and take a look at our initial opening hand. We're going to start off with a 7-cost Sanji, 2 1-cost Gum Gum Giants, a 6-cost Sanji, and a 3-cost Black Maria. Let's do our counter check. We've got a 1k, a 2k, and a 2k. Not bad. Overall, we have 5k counter total in hand. Pretty good number. We've got some 2ks, which is really nice. We only have one 1k, which is a little, scary, but that should be fine. I know my opponent's going to be swinging maybe 5 and 6k at the beginning, so having at least these numbers is really good. Looking at the cards in my hand, I'm only... actually, there's 2 cards I'm happy to see. The first card is the Black Maria. Because I am playing Purple Black Luffy, it is important that I have my ramp tools, and Black Maria is one of those options. It's not the best one, in fact it's probably the 3rd pick here, kind of the backup ramp card, but nonetheless it is a ramp card and it only ramps on my 2nd turn. So we can talk about that if I end up playing it later into the match, but again, it is nice that I at least have one ramp tool in my hand. The other card I'm actually really happy to see is the 7-cost Sanji. And the reason for this is because with the game plan I'm going for this match, the 7-cost Sanji is really important. So let's go ahead and pull that card up on screen and talk about it. Sanji is a purple 7-cost 7k power strike character with 1k counter that says, on play, you may return 1 or more Dawn cards from your field to your Dawn deck. This character gains Rush during this turn, then rest up to one of your opponent's characters with a cost of 6 or less. And so the reason why this card is important is because I will be trying to avoid attacking my opponent's life. Don't want to hit it at all. Instead, I will be attacking my opponent's characters, and every character comes in active, so having a way to rest these characters that come in active and establish a body that can rush at it means that I can control the board a lot better. So with the Sanji, play it down, rest the character, boom, 7k swing into that character immediately. It's going to help me control the board, so I'm really happy to see that. Otherwise, the rest of my cards in hand are okay, so yeah, it's alright. What I don't see in my hand is the 6-cost Beer Luffy, so that is already one big reason why I would mulligan. Trying to get that card just in my hand right off the bat is going to be really nice. But because I don't have it, I would like to see the 1-cost Law Searcher that I play in the deck, and I'm not seeing that either. Having that card in hand would be okay, it'd be the backup plan again, just because I can use it to search out the 6-cost Luffy if I don't have it in hand, but because I don't have that, that's a second reason why I might mulligan here. So let's see what I end up choosing to do. And we're gonna go ahead and mulligan. Alright, I think that makes sense. Just trying to find that Beer Luffy is just really important for this game. Looks like my opponent is going to mulligan as well, so I'll go ahead and speed this up as we get through the shuffling. The cards I'm looking for again for my opening hand are any of my ramp tools, the 6-cost Beer Luffy, and the 7-cost Sanji. So hopefully we'll hit some of those in this next draw right here. Slow it down. Set up our hand. And then set up our life for the game. Let's see what we get. Do a fist bump to start the game there, and that's a good spot. We're starting off in our opening hand with a 6-cost Luffy, 10-cost Luffy, 7-cost Sanji, 4-cost Frankie, and 1-cost Law. Let's do our counter check. We've got a 1k, a 1k, a 1k, and another 1k. So unfortunately, we did go down in counter in hand. We only have 4k counter in total. But more importantly, we don't have any 2ks now in hand. So now I'm feeling pretty scared. Even though I have 4k counter, if my opponent decides to attack at me with like a 6k swing, maybe a 7k swing, I have to give up multiple cards in hand since I only have 1k counters, which means I will go low on hand size very early. This might mean I have to take this first life pretty early. That's going to be a little unfortunate, but nothing we can do here. Looking at the cards in hand, I am happy to see the 1-cost Law, especially since I don't see the 6-cost Beer Luffy in hand. This 1-cost Law is really important since it is my only search in the deck. It's going to help me look at the top 4 cards, and hopefully I find the 6-cost Beer Luffy. Otherwise, I can use it to find some of my ramp tools because look at this. I have no ramp cards in my hand. That's unfortunate. So yeah, this Law is really important. The other card I'm actually really happy to see is the 4-cost Frankie. So this card has been a staple in Purple Black Luffy for a while now. Let's take a look at it. Frankie is a purple 4-cost 5k power strike character with 1k counter that says blocker, and on play, Dawn -2, you may trash 1 card from your hand and draw 2 cards. So the reason why this is important is because 1, it is a blocker, which means I can use it to hopefully protect my life against one of my opponent's swing. The second reason is because if you look at the state of my hand, I've already kind of talked about it with the law, I'm missing a lot of pieces for my game plan. So having the Frankie means that I have access to some card draw. I will have to trash 1 card, which will most likely be the 10-cost Luffy here, since it is the worst card in hand at the moment, and it's a brick. So trashing that 1 card in order to draw 2 sounds pretty good to me. I'll get to look through my deck a little bit deeper, and then hopefully find the pieces I'm missing. Lastly, the third reason is because this card does -2 Dawn from my field, but that works really well with my leader ability, since every time I return 2 or more Dawn cards, I actually get 1 Dawn back as active and 1 Dawn back as rested. So I get to reuse 1 Dawn, which is going to be really nice because I could go for a 6k swing or maybe do something else with it. Again, I am happy to see the 7-cost Sanji. We've already talked about this, but really nice that I have it in hand still. Other than that, it's kind of unfortunate again that I don't have any ramp tools, so this early game might be a little rough for me, but here we go. Starting off with my opponent, they're going to go up to 1 Dawn. Then they're going to tap that 1 Dawn to play out the 1-cost Belo Betty, which lets them look at top 5 and pick out a Revolutionary Army card. And they're going to pick the 4-cost Karasu. Okay, off to a strong start for my opponent. Pass back to me, I draw for turn. It is the 7-cost Sanji. Go up to 2 Dawn for my Dawn phase. I will tap 1 Dawn to play the 1-cost Law to look at the top 4, and let's see what we get. And alright, we get 1 cost Law, 2 6-cost Beer Luffys, and 1 Black Maria. So, obvious pick here, gonna be taking the Beer Luffy. Really happy that I got to find it this early. Now I'm feeling kind of comfortable since I will be hitting my 6 Dawn turn first. And it's gonna be online right away because my opponent will hit their 5 Dawn turn first. Nothing else for me to do this turn, so I go ahead and pass back to my opponent. They're going to draw for turn and then go up to 3 Dawn for their Dawn phase. They're going to start by tapping 1 Dawn to play out the 1-cost Revolutionary Army HQ stage, which is another searcher for the deck, lets them trash 1 card from their hand, which they're going to go ahead and do. Look at top 3 and pick out a Revolutionary Army, and they pick up the 4-cost Ivankov. Okay. They're going to go ahead and attach 2 Dawn to their leader. And they're going to go 7k. Oops, where's my pen? 7k at my life. And you can see here, this is where the problem arises. I don't have any 2ks. I'd have to give up 3 1ks in hand for that, which I don't want to do. So I go ahead and take a life, and it is the 3-cost Zoro. Pass back to me, I draw for turn. It was the 3-cost Uzohachi. Then I go up to 4 Dawn for my Dawn phase. And unfortunately, I did not hit one of my ramp tools. Because 3-cost Zoro is technically ramp, but it's not an on-play ramp, so don't really want to be using that. And so we're going to go ahead and tap 4 Dawn to play out the 4-cost Frankie. I'm going to have to -2 Dawn here, trash 1 card from hand, which is going to be the 10-cost Luffy. Yep, worst card in hand, no counter there. And then I'll get to draw 2, and it ends up being just a 1-cost Law and 3-cost Zoro. Ooh, a little unfortunate there. And then from leader ability, because I did -2 Dawn, I will gain 1 Dawn back as active and 1 Dawn back as rested. Fortunately, I did draw the Law though, so I will tap that 1 Dawn to play out the Law, go searching again. Let's see what we find here. Okay. We've got 3-cost Uzohachi, 7-cost Sanji, and 2 6-cost Luffys. These Luffys right here, these 2 Luffys are not going to be doing much for me in the game, so I'm not going to take that for sure. The 7-cost Sanji is kind of nice because, again, I will be trying to attack at my opponent's board, so having the ability to rest them and rush is going to be really good. But we know in hand we have 2 7-cost Sanjis again, so might not want to pick up that card. The last card here is the Uzohachi, which is very nice because it is a 2k. And so I think the Uzohachi here would be the best pickup, again, because I already have 2 Sanjis in hand. but I only have one 2k in hand, so if I know my opponent is going to be swinging at me again at these bigger numbers, like 7k, having more 2ks in hand will feel pretty safe. So number 1 pick here would probably be the Usopp, and then the number 2 pick here would probably be the Sanji. Let's see what we get. Okay, yeah, we're going with the Usopp. I think this makes the most sense. I have another 2k in my hand. It means that I'm feeling pretty safe now, since I do have a mix of 2ks and 1ks to use. Nothing else to do on my turn, so I pass back to my opponent. They draw for turn, and they go up to 5 Dawn for their Dawn phase. They're gonna tap 4 Dawn. And they're gonna play out the 4-cost Ivankov that they picked up earlier. And I don't recognize the alt art for this, so give me a second. I will just go ahead and put this on screen. This is the red 4-cost 5k special character with 1k counter that says activate main once per turn. If this character has 7k power or more, play up to 1 Revolutionary Army type character other than Emporio Ivankov with power 5k or less. So a way for them to cheat out another Rev Army character. Pretty good card. Yeah, I didn't recognize the alt art there, so we took a look at it. Very beautiful, actually. Very nice card. They're gonna go ahead and use leader ability, trashing 1 card from hand to give all of his Revolutionary Army type characters plus 3000 power, or trigger characters. And because Ivankov is now at 8k, he can cheat out another Rev Army, and he plays out the 4-cost Karasu, which is a very powerful card. So I'm sure you've seen it before, but for those who haven't, let me go ahead and put it up on screen. Karasu is a red 4-cost 5k power special character with 1k counter that says on play, if your leader type is Revolutionary Army, give up to one of your opponent's leader or characters minus 1000 power during this turn. And when attacking, if this character has 7k power or more, give up to one of your opponent's leader or characters minus 1k power during this turn as well. That is insane. So you can see here, he got to cheat that out, and he drew that earlier from the Belo Betty search. And he applied the minus 1k to my leader. So now my leader is a 4k for the turn, and I'm staring down a 5k, maybe 6k from leader, a 5k from Belo Betty potentially, and oh well, the Ivankov can attack, so I'm dealing with 2 attacks here. They're gonna start off with the 5k swing at my leader. Ooh, I cannot give up the 1k here. It's gotta be a 2k, sir. I am at 4k right now, so 5 to 4 means I have to counter out for 2 to get the 6. That would be one of my Uso Hachis. I know my opponent has 1 Dawn left and leader attack still, so that's another 6k coming at me right after this potentially. That means I would have to give up a 2k and a 1k to get out of that. But because I already showed the Zoro and I remember I have a blocker here, I do choose to block and just counter out 1, which saves me from the Belo Betty attack. And then now they're gonna go 6k with leader, 6 to 4. That is a little rough. I have to give up a 2k and a 1k to get out of this. Do I want to give up 2 cards right now? I do have the 3-cost Zoro I know I'm not playing, so I could give up an Uso Hachi and the Zoro. I choose to take it. Interesting. Okay. Let me think about that. I don't know if that was a good idea because right now my opponent is still swinging low at me for only 6ks and 5ks. But you can see that if these characters stick on board, they're going to start becoming 8k swings. And that's going to require even more cards for me to counter out of. So having the life means that I can just take the hit without feeling too scared. I think I should have countered out here. If I go back just a tad bit, looking at my hand. Yeah, in my hand, I have 2 2ks, so I can use one of them, and I've got some options to use for 1ks. I want to be saving the Sanjis for later on in this game, but I have the 6-cost Luffy that's right here, and the 3-cost Zoro, sorry, not Luffy, Zoro, that's right there. So both of those would have been okay to pitch. Actually, I think the Yeah, either one would be okay, actually. I know I'm not playing the 6 cost Luffy on 6 Dawn because I have the Beer Luffy. So that would be a good pick too. But because I also know I'm not going to be really playing Zoro anymore since I am past that, you know, Dawn phase. I'm at 4 Dawn is what I'm trying to say. I'm not going to really be playing this down to, you know, attack with it. So I think I should have just countered out here. I would have saved 1 life, means I can take 1 more hit later. So not too certain about that play. But okay, we did take the hit here. Skip past it. And it looks like they passed back to me. I went a little far here. Oops. Alright, so I draw for turn. It is the 3 cost Nico Robin, which I could have used earlier. And I go up to 6 Dawn. And we're going to start off with a 2k attack with my Law to their Belo Betty, and they let that go. That's usually what you want to start out with. And because my opponent is at 5 Dawn, I'm going to go ahead and tap 6 Dawn to play out the 6 cost Beer Luffy, which is really nice because I will Dawn -2 and make my leader a 7k leader until the end of my opponent's turn. So actually, yeah, sorry. I said I'd talk about it, so let's go ahead and put up this card on screen now that I played it. Luffy is a purple 6 cost 7k power strike character with no counter that says on play / when attacking. Dawn -2 if your leader is multicolored and your opponent has 5 or more Dawn cards on their field. Your Straw Hat Crew type leader's base power becomes 7k until the end of your opponent's next end phase. So this is going to be really good for me. I won't have to use as many counters now to get out of their swings, since if they swing 5k, that's not enough. 6k is still not enough. They would have to at least swing 7k at me, excuse me there. Which means they probably have to invest more Dawn. So really nice that I played that. And then because my Beer Luffy did -2 Dawn from my leader ability, I do get 1 Dawn back as active and 1 Dawn back as rested. So I still have 1 active Dawn to use. But unfortunately, they don't have any other rested characters for me to swing with, or swing at. And I don't want to be attacking at his life at the moment because he is going down on hand size already. So I'm just going to go ahead and pass the turn. My opponent is going to draw for turn, then go up to 7 Dawn for their Dawn phase. And let's see what they do. It looks like in my hand I've got 8 total. They're going to start off by using the stage to trash 1 card and look at top 3. Let's see what they pick up here. It's another Karasu. Oh no, that's kind of scary. We already know Karasu can -1k power to my leader. Now I know he has 2. That essentially already nullifies my leader ability if he plays it, which he's probably going to. Okay, maybe not. He taps 5 Dawn to play out. Oh, okay, the 5 cost Ivankov. This Ivankov is another strong one, so I'm going to go ahead and pause and put it up on screen. Ivankov is a red 5k power 5 cost 6k power special character with no counter that says, look at the top 3 cards of your deck, play up to 1 Revolutionary Army type character card with power 5k or less, then return the remaining to the bottom of your deck in any order. And he found another Karasu. That's crazy. Because yeah, look at this. This is a crazy board. Holy. He attached his 2 remaining active Dawn to his 4 cost Ivankov, meaning that it's now 7k power. And that means he gets to cheat out another Revolutionary Army type character from his hand. And he played that Karasu he picked up from stage. So he played out 2 Karasus in 1 turn, which gives my leader -2k. And then because I know he has this last one here, if he uses leader ability, it makes it a 7k, and this one attacks. My leader is going to be going -3k total. Essentially nullifying my leader, or my 7k power, and bringing me back down to 4k. What a turn. Holy crap. That's really good. Alright. That is a scary board. They only have 2 cards in hand, and yeah, there they go. They trash 1 card from their hand, buffing up my opponent's characters, or the Revolutionary Army characters that he has. And he's starting off with an 8k swing to my life, minusing 1k power. So now my leader for this turn, whoops, is 4k. Oh man, 8 to 4. I'm just going to block here. That's too many cards to give up from counter. My opponent's then going to go, whoops, wrong color again. Jeez. 5k. With leader at my life, I have to give up at least a 2k here. I do have a lot of 2ks now, so please give it up. There we go. 2k to get out of that swing, going up to 6. Then they're going to be swinging 10k at me. Yeah, there's no way I'm countering out of this. So I will take the hit. It is the Gum Gum Lightning, which has a trigger that says add 1 Dawn from my Dawn deck to my board as active. See if I choose to trigger it or not. That would bring me up to 8 Dawn right now, and then I can go to 10 next turn, but I'm choosing not to. And that's the end of my opponent's turn. I think it was a good choice that I chose not to activate the Gum Gum Lightning. And the reason for that is because the Gum Gum Lightning is a way for me to KO a 6k character. So I think I'm going to have to do some board clearing here. But wow, what a turn from my opponent. This Beer Luffy did nothing for me that turn. Going back to me, I draw for turn. It looks like it was a Giant. And then I go up to 9 Dawn, or 8 Dawn, sorry. I'm going to tap 2, and I'm going to go ahead and play out the Gum Gum Lightning, which again is an event that says main, Dawn -2, KO up to one of your opponent's characters with 6k power or less. So I will KO one of his active Karasus. I'm -2 Dawn, but because of leader ability, I get 1 Dawn back as active and 1 back as rested. I'm at 7 Dawn still, so I will go ahead and tap 7 Dawn to play out the Sanji. In this case, Sanji is nice in the sense that I do not have to -2 Dawn, I can just -1 to get the ability. So I will -1, rest the Karasu, and give my Sanji Rush. And we're going to go ahead and go 7k with the Sanji into the Karasu. He has to let that go. And then I go another 7k with Beer Luffy into the last Karasu. This time I do -2 Dawn to make my leader 7k. He lets the Karasu go. And then finally I go another 7k with lead at the 4-cost Ivankov, which he lets go. And the reason why he couldn't counter out of this is because he was only at 1 card in hand, which at most can be a 2k. So 7k swings into 5k swings means it's a guaranteed kill. That's why starving is really important in this matchup. We're looking pretty good here. Let's take a quick glance at the entire board state. I have a pretty large board with the Luffy and the Sanji. My leader is 7k until the end of my opponent's turn. They only have 2 cards now in hand. They only have 1 character on board and leader, so I know they only have 2 attacks at most. So I'm feeling pretty safe. We've weathered the storm, I'd like to say here. So if we can keep this up, then I can just continuously play out, my Sanjis and hopefully be able to start attacking at his life very soon. But yeah, I did not give him any cards in hand, so when he draws for turn, he's now at 2 cards in hand, and then he went up to his 9 Dawn turn for Dawn phase. And he's going to start off by playing another 5-cost Ivankov. Alright, let's see what he finds. Because he already played 3 Karasus, I know I'm no longer really worried about it. The chances of him having the last one is kind of low. So, looks like he's going deep here, searching for it. But yeah, I'm not worried about the Karasu now. He played the Belo Betty off of Ivankov, by the way. Let's see what he picks up here. It's going to be... Yeah, he's thinking real hard now. So, I think the game is slightly in my favor at the moment. I do have another Sanji to deal with the active Ivankov. That's why the Sanji is really important in this matchup. If he attacks with this Ivankov, then I know I can attack at it next turn. So, alright, he's taking the 3-cost Inazuma, which is actually a Rust unit for him. So that actually is kind of scary. He could get another attack out of nowhere. And he's going to tap 3 Dawn. Oh, maybe not. Yeah, he's got to think about it because he only has 2 cards in hand. If he trashes 1 card with leader ability, he's going to be down to 0 cards in hand, which means I am free to kind of attack at his board or life without having to worry. Instead, he chooses to attach his 4 Dawn to his leader and go a big 9k swing at me. And so for here, I do give up a 2k and a 1k to get out of that since I am a 7k leader. Going up to 10, and I'm safe there. Pass back to me. I'm now going to go up to only 7 Dawn because I was minusing a lot of Dawn last turn. A little unfortunate because if I had the 10 cost Luffy in hand, I don't think I do. Yeah, I don't. Doesn't matter then, never mind. I did draw the 6 cost Secret Rush Luffy, which is really nice, but I need 2 active Dawn in order to get off a double 7k swing, which I don't really have enough to afford, so that's probably not a good play. I have another Sanji right now. Oh, okay. Here's something that also really sucks. I think I was keeping the Usopp's in hand because this Usopp does allow me to rest a 5 cost or less, but only if I'm at 8 Dawn or more. The idea here by keeping these cards is that I could have rested both of these and then used my characters to attack at it, but I'm not at 8 Dawn, and so I'm thinking here, is there a way for me to get to 8 Dawn? There's not, so that's a little unfortunate. So these 2 cards currently can't help me rest. The only card that can help me rest is the Sanji. So maybe I miscalculated in the previous turn by not realizing that I'm not going to have enough Dawn there. Yikes. Okay, let's see what we're choosing to do. We're going to go ahead and tap 7 Dawn. Yeah, I think this makes the most sense. 7 Dawn. We're going to play out another Sanji. This time, yeah, I'm going to rest the Ivankov minus 2 Dawn, give my Sanji Rush, and then rest the Ivankov. And then because of leader ability, I will gain 1 Dawn back as active and 1 back as rested. So I do have 1 active Dawn, which is good because I have Giant in hand. I need an active Dawn to be able to use it for counter. The sad part is, yep, gotta attack 7k here with my Luffy into that Ivankov, which he just lets go. And the reason why I have to attack with this because I really want to make my leader a 7k power in order to defend from any potential attacks he has. But that means I do have to minus 2 Dawn again, so I am going pretty low on Dawn here. I'm only at 5 Dawn now, which means next turn I'm only going to be at 7 again. And I'm choosing not to attack, trying to continue with the starving plan. We'll see how much that works out for me. Okay, they're gonna start off by tapping stage for their turn. Oh, right, sorry. Pass back to them, draw a card for turn, went up to 10 Dawn. Then they're gonna activate stage, trashing the Zeus, and they're gonna pick up a Belo Betty, I think it was. Sorry, I'm gonna go back. Yeah, it was the Belo Betty. Gonna play out that Belo Betty immediately for 1 Dawn. See what they find off the top. They're gonna find another Inazuma. Okay, so I now know he's got 2 rush options in his hand. I'll put up the Inazuma on screen for you to read since I have been talking about it. But yeah, if the Inazuma has 7k, if there's another character on board that has 7k, it gains rush. It actually includes itself as well, so yeah, and there we go. He's gonna tap 3 Dawn, play out the first Inazuma, and then tap another 3 Dawn to play out the second Inazuma. And I was actually wrong, I looked it up just now. The Inazuma says if a character you control other than this character has a power of 7k more, then the character gains rush. So, my bad there. They're gonna trash the last card in hand, which, wow, was the 4th Karasu. That's crazy. They're gonna give the Inazumas plus 3k, and then also the Ivankov plus 3. And now they're gonna attach their last 2 Dawn, and start off with a 7k swing to my life with leader. I am at 7k here, so I just need to counter out of 1. I know my opponent has 2 more 7k swings coming at me with Inazuma, and then a 9k swing coming at me with Ivankov, so I should probably defend out of these attacks as much as possible. So 1k counter out of the leader hit. They go 7k with Inazuma. I give up my Uzohachi to get plus 2k. They go an 8k swing with the last Inazuma. I now have to give up at least another 2k, which I did, the Uzohachi. And then finally, they're going 9k with the Ivankov, which I don't really have the counter for here. So we're going to go ahead and take it. I actually did have the counter. I had 1 Dawn up for the Giant, but I don't think I wanted to go down on Dawn here, since I will need as much Dawn as possible because I'm at no life, my opponent has no cards in hand, and I think it's finally time to try to go for game. So we're going to start off with a 5k swing with my leader to life, which he takes. I wanted to have 7 Dawn this turn after drawing for turn, so 7 Dawn to work with. Now, I know my opponent only has 1 card in hand, which means at most he can have a 2k counter. So I'm still pretty safe here. I can just do another 7k swing. And it looks like I'm trying to do some Dawn math here because, again, I do have the 6 cost Rush Luffy in my hand, which is another 7k. And it would be essentially a double attack if I do have 2 active Dawn. But that's going to be hard because I know my Luffy here, my Beer Luffy, wants to -2 Dawn in order to make my leader a 7k. I guess it doesn't matter anymore because I already swung with leader. So yeah, but I think in my head, I'm telling myself, would that actually save me? But, okay. We're going to go ahead and do a 7k swing with the Beer Luffy. They take it. Alright. We're going to go another 7k with my Sanji, which they take as well. So hopefully this is a sign he doesn't have enough counter. If he couldn't defend out of the second Sanji swing here with 7k, then I'm thinking that he only has 1k's in hand. So that would be 8k potentially in hand. So yeah, I'm going to go 8k here, which he takes. So far the read is okay. So now I know he has 4 cards in hand. Based on my swing so far, I would think he only has at least 3 1k's in hand, potentially. But at the worst case scenario, he does have 2k's, and yeah, I just go ahead and attach all my Dawn on my Law and go for an 8k swing. Let's see if I've got it. And he had a 2k, 1k, 1k. Oh no, so he went up to 9k. That's unfortunate. Countered out, and I am out of attacks. Pass back to my opponent. They've got all 10 Dawn up. I've got no life, only 4 cards in hand. They're going to use Belo Betty's leader ability, trashing 1 card to buff up his units. And then go ahead and attach all his Dawn for a very large number swing. Whoops, at my life, which I know I cannot get out of, so. Wrong color again, my gosh. You know what I mean though. But alright, GG's to my opponent. They take the win and I take the loss. Woo, what a game. It was pretty close. I think towards the end, I did have a few misplays. Looking back at it right now, I think the turn, let's see. Yeah, this turn right here, I think I should have attacked with these Sanjis. And the reason for that is because he still has 2 characters. Jeez, wrong color. He still has 2 characters on board. So he has enough cards in hand to just trash and power them up. So at this point, it doesn't really matter if I give him more cards. I already know he has the Inazumas in hand as well. So if I had attacked with my Sanjis here, 7k and 7k, then it's either going to pressure his hand to counter out, or he just takes it. And the high chance that he just takes it, there's a high chance he just takes it because it would mean more cards for him. But this would put him down to 3 life, maybe 2 life if I'm lucky. And on my last turn, here, I would have had a better chance at going for game. So I don't think I set myself up for success on that turn by not swinging. It costed me. I had to go through 4 life and 1 final attack. So that was very, you know, it's a tight line to walk on. And plus, again, doesn't really matter what cards he gets in hand at this point, because if it's like another Ivankov, he's just going to be cheating out somebody. He's already trashed all of his Karasu, so I know that I won't be going down on power. And regardless, whatever he plays, he can't attack with it. So I know at most it was just the Belo Betty, the Ivankov, and leader swing. He did have the Inazumas, which means that he could have rushed with them like he did here. But you saw that I was able to get out of those attacks with being a 7k leader and having enough counter in hand. So I think that was my one mistake at the end there by not attacking. But let's just say we just ended up not attacking. The other issue I saw was, once again, because I am kind of new to this deck, if you didn't know, this is only the 2nd week that I have been playing Purple Black Luffy, I sequenced pretty badly here. Because I saw my opponent had no cards in hand, I immediately just went 5k with leader, right? That's usually a fine thing to do. It's an easy swing. They have no cards, so they have to take it no matter what. And I get to reserve all of my Dawn to use elsewhere. But I lost out on making my leader a 7k for free with my Beer Luffy. Something I could have done was use 3 of my Dawn here, so 3 Dawn. And I could have attached it to the Law to make the Law a 5k attacker. And then I could have gone 5k with Law to my opponent's life. Same idea, right? They would have to take this no matter what. But now that I've used the 3 Dawn, you know, I have 3 Dawn attached here, I can follow up with my Beer Luffy swing like I did for just 7k, since I know at most they only have a 2k counter in hand by the 1 card. And I could have minused the Dawn that was attached to my Law. So I could have done -2 Dawn here. And then because of leader ability, I would have actually gained back 1 Dawn back as active and 1 Dawn back as rested. So that would have been +2 Dawn. And specifically, 1 Dawn is active. And that means I go from 7 Dawn to 4 Dawn because I attached it to the Law. But then I go back up to 5 active Dawn. I'm actually at 6 Dawn here, but again, 5 active Dawn. And now I have a 7k leader. And so that means, let me clean this up here a little bit. 7k leader, 7k Sanji, and 7k Sanji with 5 Dawn up. And I know that they are at 2 life since they took the Law hit and the Luffy hit here. Taking these 2 cards and putting it into the hand. 2 cards. With 2 cards left in life, a 7k, 7k, and 7k swing, I could have spread my Dawn out a lot better by going maybe, if I just chose to do what I did again, just maybe a 7k swing with the Sanji, see what happens. If they take it, now that's only 1 card left with 2 7k attackers, I could easily split my Dawn here going, let's say, 9k and 10k. And that means they would have to give up a lot of cards. The 9k here demands that they have a 2k, 2k, and a 1k at minimum, while the follow-up 10k swing demands that they have a 3 2ks essentially. So it would have given me a higher chance of winning. We know that they had a 2k, 1k, and 1k in hand, so they couldn't really get out of the 9k swing. And that means my last swing here, 10k, would have had a higher chance of being successful. So that's one thing. Another thing I could have also done is, if I had already attacked with my Luffy like I did, here we go. So I attacked my Luffy leader first. They are now at 1 card in hand and 3 life. I still had the Rush Luffy in hand. I could have played that out. Oh no, you have to return active Dawn. Okay, never mind. I forgot. I was gonna say we could have gotten 2 double attacks off with the Rush Luffy, but I forgot that you can't return Rested Dawn, because I was thinking about, you know, returning 2 Rested Dawn with... Oh, I could have actually. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, we could have. If I played the Rush Luffy, 6 cost Rush Luffy, which I'll put up on screen. I won't read it though, but you can see what it does there. That would have tapped 6 of my Dawn, so I would have 1 Dawn active still. And then I could have done 7k here with the Luffy. Minus 2 Dawn. And then because of leader ability, I would have gained 1 Dawn back as active and 1 Dawn back as rested. So I would go up to the 2 Dawn here. And then now, this Rush Luffy is actually online. So I could have done 7k, I could have done 7k, could have done another 7k, and then I could have done 2 more 7ks essentially. So that would be, how many 7ks is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I could have done 6 7k swings at him. This is not as good as what I said earlier, but that would have been more attacks, right? With how many attacks I have coming at him and he has no cards in hand, that could have also been a possibility for me to try to win. So, yep, I kind of threw at the end by not sequencing well, but that's okay. I'm still learning. GG's again to my opponent. If you guys caught anything else that I could have done better or something I missed, please let me know in the comments below. Otherwise, I will catch you guys in the next game. And once again, sorry for going long here. Just a lot to talk about. Until next time, remember, keep your minds fresh and your spirits free. See ya!